Are we still lying about dates? Like, is this today? Is today really today?
Today is today. Today's
Okay.
episode 278.
Are we lying about that too? Is that correct? Are we sure?
That's what I see in our notes, that it's 278. That's what I rely on.
Well, hopefully it's correct. How are you, Mr. Ryan?
I'm great. Everything's great. How are you?
I'm good. Is there any kind of design on that T-shirt?
Well, I did bring it out. The World Cup.
I haven't worn mine yet. I'm
I
saving
broke it
for
out a couple times.
Got it. You will be thrilled to know that today's guest, this is their first podcast ever, which I know that you are a big fan of.
Well, it's just one of those things. We get people early, and I appreciate that. And it's what, dude, it's one of those things where it's about giving founders a platform, and I feel that we do that. And we want to ensure that it's a positive experience.
Mm-hmm. And it's something that we were just talking about this backstage with Mari, who was a participant at this year's Startup World Cup 2025, and she was talking about the experience of it and some advice or some thoughts that her introducer Scott Janney of CX Perks provided her, but just like embracing the event, not about winning, embracing it and being a part of that. And I think that what are you laughing at?
No, I'm just laughing about the whole embracing part, because I'm trying to put myself in Mari's position.
Okay.
Quickly. So it's just like,
please.
You travel in from out of town.
Richmond.
You
right?
don't really.
Richmond, yes.
You don't really know a lot of people.
Anyone.
And then we're just there, and then we get thrown into this rehearsal, which, as an outsider, it was kind of chaotic. It was at best organized chaos, and that is, I use that lightly. It was just a lot of alpha personalities. Everyone had the greatest idea on how everything should be run and where everybody should sit and all that. But the missing thing about that was everyone had the greatest idea, but didn't have all the information. And so there was only two people that had all the information, and that was Zach and me. And I'm in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, do you know how upset you're going to be if we allow you to be backstage and then miss the surprises about how we kicked off the event? So it was just, I'm just listening. I'm just curious. Your take is, you're like, what did I just get myself into? This is crazy. That's what I was laughing at.
I mean, the event didn't look as chaotic, to be honest.
No.
Because I feel like any event will have some level of chaos. Like, nobody can predict the future. I've been to multiple events. I mean, not as a participant or pitch competition. That was my only second pitch competition, but different events. Everything kind of looks chaotic, and that's okay, because people are there to have a good time. And as long as you as an organizer have a good time, then the energy spreads. So I was there really ready to enjoy and have fun.
Yeah, and I think that if there's any place for chaos to happen, it's the rehearsal, not the actual show.
Yeah. I mean, my thought was, I really didn't know anyone. The only person I went there together was my co-founder / husband. And we're like, who should I be friends with? I mean, I'm a social butterfly. So I'm like, who should I pick as a friend? That was what was going on in my mind.
Can you define social butterfly?
I'm sorry?
Answer whoever you want first.
Did you find friends?
I did. Yes, I did. And we've been texting each other.
Oh, really? Who? This would be good.
Alexis,
Oh yeah.
from
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, Perkins.
So
Yeah.
Alexis has been texting me, so she's been so great.
It's good.
She's
It's
a
good to
great
know that.
energy.
It's good to know that because I have a text into that individual and have not heard back from them. So
Mhm.
maybe your new little BFF, you can say, "Yo,
I know.
But yeah,
is it because I wasn't doing enough of this?" Like
Yeah.
that was wild. Were
but a social
you were in
butterfly,
the
Zach, you fly from place to place, and you just go about your way, flutter
got
away.
it.
Yeah.
Were you in your seat for her segment? Obviously, if sounds
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was having fun. I was rocking the exercise. Uh, I didn't care what everybody else thought. I was really just doing like, oh, this is fun.
But I mean, you needed to get the circulation going,
Mhm.
and again,
Exactly.
she is a great energy. She was on the show many years ago.
You met her
Mhm.
through Start Peninsula, Tim?
Yeah.
Is that okay? I don't think I realized that until last week, maybe.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. People really enjoyed that segment. It seems like from the stage, if we're looking from the stage out, the back left corner, that group back there had a hell of a time at the event. They were really, they were digging the dancing and everything. Like I've seen some videos. I'm like, okay, all right, all right. So Ara, walk us through what Ara is.
Yes. Oh, so Ara is an AI workspace for technical analysts where analysts can actually do the end-to-end workflow from uploading their analysis, writing a report, and putting it in a centralized place. And it helps business stakeholders search the analysis and then make faster make faster decisions. So that's really what Ara is. And the reason why I started Ara was I had that problem at Google. So I was at Google, I worked as an analyst, and my husband slash co-founder was data scientist at Meta. And we both felt like analyst workflow is so broken. We juggle between like 5 to 10 different tools. Like it's so fragmented. And in between, some level of insights and information get lost, which led us being a human Google search engine. We just answer different DMs and questions all the time. So I felt like, how come Google and Meta hasn't figured this out yet? So we have to build it ourselves because I know myself, my co-founder husband, and all my peers, they were struggling with this problem. So that's how it all started.
Wow.
Do you always call your co-founder husband? Like, are they always in that phrase together? Like,
I
is a
I don't
co-founder
know.
like that? Like,
I don't know what's the right way to like refer him because he is my co-founder, but he's also my husband, and I'm very proud that we are married. So I don't want to just say co-founder, but I can't just say husband because it doesn't really look professional. So
Well, and the
if you have a
funny
better
thing
way,
is that like the work never stops in a startup. So maybe he's just a co-founder. I don't know. That's interesting.
he is a co-founder of my family and my life.
you guys have a kid, right? One kid.
Yes, we do have a one totaler. Yes.
Would you consider him a co-founder of your child?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So
If
maybe
absolutely. We're building our child's life together.
here you go. All right.
How did the conversation happen with you
Which one?
two
Oh God.
in terms of like just to make the decision to leave Google and Meta? Did that happen at the same
Ugh.
time? Was it one after another? Like, I mean, I'm sure you were not getting paid minimum wage at either of those two places. So that, I mean, that's a pretty big step.
That it was. So I am actually very proud of myself for breaking those golden handcuff. I mean, some people haven't heard the term golden handcuff, but really just FANG companies, those big tech companies, they pay you so much that you can't really think about escaping, right? And for me, I burned out like everyone else. I burned out from working 14, 15 hours at Google every single day without weekend. At 2 a.m., if there is a meeting, I have to jump in. And I had a newborn. The meaning of my life completely switched. It wasn't chasing the corporate ladder anymore. I just had something way more important, and I've always wanted to be a mom. So funny story. I feel like I'm going tangent, but when I first got hired, like 5 years ago, my manager at Google asked me like, "Hey, where do you see yourself in 5 years?" And I said, "I'm gonna be a mom." So I think my team already knew at the point that like she's gonna leave at some point. But anyway, the stories aside, I was really burned out, and I had a different calling, I guess. I just wanted to be a mom. So I decided to leave Google, not specifically because of the entrepreneurship, but I wanted to leave Google for my baby. Like I wanted to be there for her. But at the same time, I kept thinking about why I was so burned out. It was always back in my mind. And I was watching my husband going through the same burnout at Meta. Like he was losing that sparkle in his eyes, his light was getting dimmer and dimmer. So I I really pushed. I really pushed that like, hey, you should leave Meta. Like this is not what your life should be about. So I quit first. And yeah, I pushed I pushed him to leave. And we just really, I guess, found the root cause of why we were so burned out. And we wanted to do something about it. So that is, I guess, the whole story.
Wow. Yeah, that's a pretty significant life change.
That is. And I don't regret a single thing. Like it's
Yeah.
honestly leaving Google was liberating to me. It was liberating. I learned so much and I appreciate the experience so much, but my it didn't work for my life in a new phase of my life as a mom who cares so much about her own baby. So yeah.
So, like, are you being facetious about the 2 a.m. phone call? Like, I mean, seriously, that stuff happened? Like,
Yes. So it varies team by team, right? I can't talk badly about my previous employer. But
but you
I
are.
work I worked in the hardware. So
Mm,
a humble brag. So this is my phone that I launched. It's my baby. And I launched 4 phones at Google. So that's about $10 billion, right? But hardware has a very specific work culture that's different from software. For hardware, everything has to be perfect. You have to follow some kind of procedure. It's very waterfall. And I personally worked very closely with the manufacturers in China or Vietnam. So I had to juggle between 3 different time zones. So early morning is European time zone where our partner sits. Partner meaning the distributor, the phone providers, or like phone carriers, right? And then North America time, and then Asia time, and that was every single day.
mm. Wow. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, and
That
if something goes wrong at the factory, it doesn't matter whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning. I gotta wake up.
You talked about the burnout and just not being satisfied or not enjoying, even though it was golden handcuff ish company. You know, it's hard to leave that. It's hard to leave the paycheck. Once you decided that you were going to go and to try to like refresh and rejuvenate yourself, were there any kind of strategies or certain things that you did to kind of get that spark back?
Uh, I think I just found a meaning in being a mom and my child, right? So I was really involved, dedicated. I think that gave me really big fulfillment. Like I was happy in all the grind as a mother. So even if it physically required more and like more hours, more of my mental energy than my previous employer, I was happy. And I mean, as you know, in a big corporate, sometimes you don't really know where your work leads to. Sometimes you spend months doing one project, and sometimes you don't make any impact. Sometimes the work disappeared. That was one of my biggest pain points. Like, wow, my project. So one of the project that I was supposed to do is launching a foldable phone, And at the time, I worked so hard for month and month, but at the time, just Google decided that they're not gonna launch the foldable phone back in 2020. They're just not ready. Market is not there yet, right? So they completely ditched the project. So where does that leave me to? I feel like, wow, 15 hours every single day went nothing. However, if I put the same 15 hours to my baby, I know there's output 100%. So it was very fulfilling.
Wow. Did you both live on the West Coast?
Yeah, so we are both in Seattle. My team stayed at Mountain View. Funny that you mentioned that because that's actually another reason why I decided to leave. It's like all the stars aligned. So Google granted me the permanent remote post-pandemic, right? So we were in the West Coast initially. I was in the Bay Area. Then we lived in Seattle for a few years. Post-pandemic, we moved to Austin, Texas, because that was like the only place open at the time. Then I got pregnant and I wanted to stay closer to my husband's family. So we moved to Virginia. So Virginia now is my home. Fast forward 2023, Google wasn't okay with me working remotely anymore. And they told me to come back to the Bay Area. And I said no. Like I was already burned out. I already have a great baby who gives me joy and fulfillment. And you're telling me to come back without any other benefits. My salary will be the same. The cost of living over there is crazy. I want to have family support. Like there's no upside. There was only upside for the company and there was no upside for me. And that is not a fair contract. Whoops, I am losing. Sorry about that. So, sorry, going back to my story. There was no upside for me. That's unfair contract, and I'm not okay with that. Like I'm not a slave of a company. Again, I'm not talking bad about Google.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but I'm not a slave of a company. So all the stars aligned, and I decided to leave.
Well, I mean, the thing that's interesting is that you're probably still, there's a good chance you're probably working at 2 a.m. still,
Yes.
but it's on your terms as opposed to someone else's terms.
Exactly. Again, it's the same thing as raising children, right? Like 100% of your input is 100% of your output. Like I know exactly what to do and what's going to come out. And if nothing, I guess if there's no outcome that I expected, there's always learning. So there's always something that fulfills me.
You went to the University of Washington?
Yes, yes, sir.
When did you go there?
Class of 2020. So I'm class of pandemic actually. So we didn't have graduation.
Oh wow.
Okay. What do they call that? The Upper Northwest? Is that what they call that area?
Pacific Northwest.
Pacific
PNW.
Northwest.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
Oh, they have the best summer in the nation, hands down.
Really?
But summer only lasts like 2 months.
They got a lot of waterfalls out there too, right?
They do, yes. So the whole Cascade Mountain, leading to the Rocky Mountain, it's really beautiful. And I think it's similar to, I guess, Virginia in a sense that the water is right there and the mountain is right there in the backyard, and it's very accessible. It's like within an hour. So yeah, I really enjoyed living there. Summer was beautiful, but the rest of like 10 months was a bit miserable. And I think that's why they drink a lot of coffee there. They gotta stay
Isn't there
awake.
like
They're
a road that goes the entire coast too? What is that
I think
called?
that's Highway 1.
Really?
Highway 1, yes. That's beautiful too.
Well, there you go. What's not beautiful about that area?
All the rain.
Yes. So first winter, you don't really feel it because you still have this excitement of being in a new city. Like Seattle is beautiful, like people are very interesting, but from second winter and on, seasonal depression really kicks in. And well, I'm from Michigan, so I thought that I could deal with like very harsh winter, but Seattle's depression is a different level. I think.
What?
Yeah.
What part of Michigan?
So I was in Metro Detroit.
Okay. I mean, Michigan summers are pretty nice too.
Michigan summers are beautiful, but again, it can't beat PNW because Michigan land is very flat. Like they
Right,
don't
right,
have
right.
beautiful mountains. Yeah.
Is there
So
what kind of natural disasters does the Pacific Northwest have?
they do have a risk of big earthquake because it still fits into Pacific Rim.
Hmm.
So they've been saying in the past 20 years that the big one, the big earthquake is coming. They've been saying for the
Mm.
past 20 years. I
Wow.
don't know when it's gonna come.
Does it have a name?
I
The
think
big
they call
one.
it the big one. Yeah.
Do earthquakes have names? Do they?
I think that
I don't think.
generally, I think they're known by year, like the earthquake of, I can't remember what the big one in San Francisco was like. Well, I mean, and then back in the day when they had the earthquake during the World Series, whatever was that, 1980
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
something.
Late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. Interesting. The reason
In
I
terms,
ask is I just watched this show, Tim's watched too, about storms, and there was no earthquakes in that. Now that I'm
earthquakes
thinking
really
about it.
scare me because there's like really no notice, like hurricane, is coming, tornado, that there's weather that can produce. Earthquakes kind of scare me a little bit.
Yeah,
Do people die in
100%. I mean,
earthquakes?
yes. I mean, if it's severe, if the magnitude is severe, then people die because the whole building crashes. There's like sinkhole on the floor, on the ground.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I never experienced such a high magnitude earthquake because I mean I lived in Korea, so we're slightly outside of the Pacific Rim, and my parents live in like 25th floor. So when the earthquake hits, like actually the whole building like shakes, bam.
That scares me. I mean, and they say that there, it's earthquake code and all that kind of stuff, but like, I don't know. I mean, that's just
Mother Nature don't care.
no.
Yeah.
I remember. So it was many years ago that we had a earthquake in Virginia, and just that little baby earthquake, and I was in that building, and I could feel
You're talking
that.
about
I
like
was like,
2010, 2011,
yeah,
2012.
yeah, and I was just like, that's enough for me. That
Mm-hmm.
is enough for me.
It felt like there was a wave going.
Mm.
And this is like a 0.2 on the Richter scale. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm curious, like in Seattle, how is there a sense of pride amongst like because you have Boeing and you have Amazon and you have Microsoft, like as much of the population, I'm sure must support them in a certain way. Are all those companies, are they embraced? Like is there a lot of support
Yeah.
for them?
Yes. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I chose to go to University of Washington. Like I came from automotive manufacturing background, but I always wanted to go to a tech industry. Manufacturing was great, but it has its own downside where, well, I was a young girl, right, and an immigrant, and the culture over there is very like male dominant, or they don't really like innovations. So and I knew I was like really smart and be creative. Wanted to move to the tech industry. And when I looked through, I guess, schools statistics, University of Washington had one of the highest job placement in the tech industry. So I specifically chose that school, and it was great. Like you said, Amazon, Microsoft, Boeing, T-Mobile, like all the good, like big name companies are right there. And Seattle is very small. So networking was much easier. You bump into someone at Whole Foods, and more likely he's like a director of whatever company. People are very intellectually curious, so I enjoyed every single conversation with a random stranger, including like Uber drivers. So that was really good. For me, where I personally benefited was I like at the time when I was doing my MBA, right? I just scheduled coffee chats with everyone who I can meet to. And I asked for projects. Hey, like I want to work for your company. I want to do a real internship. Like I want to do a real project. So that's how I ended up getting like projects with Microsoft, like for a year. I got into strategy consulting because I really like hustled my way. And I think that is really like real benefit that Seattle can provide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I dig that. That's one of the things I think we have like super small microcosms of that in this area, but like to really have those big anchors in the, it's like we have Ferguson or we have Smithfield or at one point Norfolk Southern, but like, and we certainly have the Navy and the shipyard, but I think that's the next step that I aspire to, to have at least within our region, within Hampton Roads.
Yeah, that would be great.
I just appreciate that you were willing to not just get coffee for people, right? Like I feel like that's like what people think of as an internship, and it's like, yeah, like you don't learn a lot until you actually do work,
Yeah.
And I loved my time in college, but did I really learn anything? And then you get your first job, and like the first week, you learn more than the last 4 or 5 years. It's
Yeah.
like, that was kind of a waste.
Yeah.
So like
Sorry.
with all that stuff, I'm just like, I mean, it's really fascinating, and kudos to you. But like, what pieces of all that you learned along the way have you applied to the startup in terms of like, like, is there anything that stands out in terms of you've taken these work ethics or, how did that help shape your startup?
Oh man, that is a very big question. How is it applicable? So I think I've already practiced so much of my, I guess, resilience in a sense that I face rejection so much, like in my school days when I was a student. And I think that was a great place for me to just learn how to deal with rejection. You reach out to 200 people, probably only 10 of them are going to reply back to you, right? And I think startup is the same way. Nobody has any reason to care about what I'm building, but I'm not going to stop. I'm still going to message you. I'm still going to cold call you. I'm still going to ask for your time. And if you reject me, if you don't reply, that's fine. I can move on. There's always a next person. Or if I really want to meet you, if I'm really that goal oriented, that you have something that I want, I'm going to go after you. Like I'm gonna make it happen, and it might take time, but I'm gonna find the reason why you should care about me. So I think
How did you develop that characteristic? Were you born with that? Did you learn it?
that
Social butterfly.
I I do think that my I guess born personality or like temperament tend to be a bit more risk taking, bold, and fearless. At the same time, there's like a nurture piece, right? I was born in Korea. I moved to this country when I was 18 without any like adult guidance. I moved here alone. I found this like scholarship opportunity at the time in Korea, and I just thought like, well, God's calling me. I gotta apply here, and I got the scholarship. And you know what? I'm gonna move to the USA. And at the time, I didn't know anything about America. My parents didn't know anything about America. Like only thing that we knew was like the Hollywood movie. But I landed in Detroit and I made it work out. I didn't really speak English at a time, but I made it work out. My 20s was pretty challenging. Like I was learning how to survive in a completely new country without anyone helping me, but I figured it out. So I think that's where I built those like resilience and just keep trying and like focusing on your goal. Like everything's gonna work out.
When did you move to Detroit?
That was 2009 when financial crisis happened and Detroit looked like shit.
Yeah, I mean, they went through some, they're on the rebound now, and they're making some headway. But yeah, Detroit was pretty grim.
Yep, it was not what I've seen in the movies.
And that's really like one of my big things is like during the heyday of the automotive industry, Detroit used to be the #1 wealthiest city in the United States. And
Yes.
like I don't know, like that's where I just want us and Hampton Roads and Virginia just keep really pushing the envelope and not sit on the fact of we're home to the world's largest Navy base and we have Langley Air Force Base and we're shipbuilding and all that stuff. I mean, like stuff can change really, really fast. And if we just sit back and not evolve or innovate, then yeah, that do not want us to become the next Detroit.
Detroit
Exactly.
2.0.
Yeah, and they're gonna lose talent, moving to somewhere else.
I did a TED talk and I called it, did I know you then, Tim? The Detroit 2.0 effect. That was like 11 years ago.
Wow.
That's fun. Well, here we are, full circle.
Yeah. What type of, so like when you said your market is for analysts, what type of analysis is there? Is there a specific vertical that you're going after? Or when you say analyst, what are they analyzing?
Yeah, so we are going after the technical analyst. What I mean by technical analyst, it's data analyst and data scientist. And they have a specific way of working that's different from like business analyst or financial analyst because they have to code. You have to be technical. You have to code. And for that, you use one tool. You have to write a notebook, which is a different tool. And most likely, they will have to present their findings and insight to the executives because data analysis drives the company decision. So they have to write in a plain English that resonates with the company's goal in a different tool. They have to share it, they have to present it. So I am going after that and building an end-to-end workflow for them. And another reason is their time is very, very, very expensive. And if they lose 50% of their day just working on low value work, that's a lot of money. So let's say at Meta, if you're a data scientist, you make 500K. 50% of that is 250K. Like are the companies okay losing that much? Probably not. So that is our vertical.
Interesting.
Yeah, because like in my mind, I guess just being so somewhat familiar with in the Intel world, I just always automatically go to Intel analysis and so like in terms of like that, it's just how do you program something or how do you build something? I'm assuming to just like to go to first principles types thinking to like really get into it, to make that so the decision is just there and it's just like that's exactly what I need. I mean, that's just got to be really complex.
I think so. I think this is what I think. Like, I think, yes, the company probably have the decision that they want to make, and they probably want like a supporting analysis, like the supporting evidences, right? And usually analyst's job is creating those analysis, finding those supporting insights and deliver it. But we just want to get rid of the inefficiency piece of the analysis or insight being everywhere, and it's like the stakeholders can immediately find it. So I don't know if it's going to be technically like complex at this stage for MVP, but the next stage is going to be complex because we want to provide more value than centralizing all the analysis and creating the workflow. We want to make sure that those centralized analysis creates more value by, let's say, we want company to understand how each insight are closely related. It's like if there is one decision to increase, I don't know. No, if there's one decision to have another promo, let's say. So I'm just using like Google Pixel example. We want to throw a promo. What are the supporting analysis below that? And one can be, well, our customer churn increased by 15% compared to last year and this year. And second insight, supporting insight would be our sales revenue decrease in this segment of a customer, right? So like I think that's the MVP tool that we want to build, and that might be more technically challenging to link all the insights to like one decision.
How do you work around confirmation bias? Like you say, like these analysts, they just try to confirm that they're right, and they try to find the information that supports that. How do you work around that?
I think that's a great that's a great point. If I really want to maximize my ROI, my work's ROI, then I actually kind of have to go along with the narrative that the company already wants to do. So if the VP wants to do XYZ, then yeah, I have to create those analysis in a way that supports his or her vision. If I want to do like right work, then I'll have to present a different side of a data that probably doesn't support his or her narrative, right? So it's a path that I'll have to choose. Do I want to maximize for ROI of analyst time,
Mm-hmm.
or do I want them to do the right work?
That's
That's
fair.
that's an
That's fair.
interesting one.
Well, I mean, I think there's always bias and stuff like that too. It's like, oh, this
Yeah.
happened. It's like, well, like I remember when I used to do a lot of events, we used to have like this to-do list, and some of them had like 50, 75 things in it. And we'd be like, oh, this didn't happen. It's like, oh, okay, well, why didn't it happen? And you go, you
Right.
verify, oh, well, I didn't do step 27 yet.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it's like, I think there's people thinking that they're putting in the same effort because they had done it before and it'll just happen again magically. It's like, no, you still probably got to put in a lot more of that effort. Interesting to hear that. So
Yeah.
you hear so many companies use AI in kind of their vernacular.
Yes.
How like what's your appetite for the robots? Obviously you like it, but like where do you see them going? How did you incorporate yourself into that? Like tell me all you know about the robots.
The robots?
Yes. That's what I call AI.
Okay.
She's like,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay, that's an interesting question. So what do I think about the robots? I do think the benefit of having AI and robots is that humans don't have to do the repetitive work anymore. That's low value, which is what we're trying to do for analysts. Like I don't want the smart people to worry about repetitive, low value work. So I think it's great in the sense that AI and robots can completely replace that. And humans can focus on the work that actually should create value, like strategy, like thinking and planning and actually executing and iterating, right? So that's very human work and staying in touch with real people and understanding what they care about. The downside is that, unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't want to get out of their comfort zone and learn new skill of strategizing or planning or thinking ahead. So I think unfortunately a lot of people's job will be replaced by AI and robots because they are staying with those repetitive low value work. So that's my take.
I love how you've embraced the robot into your vernacular so quickly. So keep up the good work.
I always think about it. I do think a lot about like humanity and philosophy, how it's all tied to my life, or like Ara, because I do care about what I'm building. And I have to build something that matters to me, something that gives me meaning, something that aligns with my personal integrity and my personal mission. So yeah, I do think a lot about
I mean, I think this whole conversation has been about that, right? Where it's like, okay, like you're searching for meaning, right?
Yes.
You think you found that when you're working at big company, then to realize like this is not for me. You have this like pot at the end of the rainbow type of thing as your child, and once you have that, this purpose has really kind of like become sunshine in a salty, rainy city like Seattle, and I don't know. It seems like it's very evident that purpose is important to you, and I think more people should think like that.
Yes.
It's important.
I need to thank my parents, I think. So my personal mission is always to really honor my parents' legacy and expand it. So every choice or decision that I make really evolves around how does it fit to my personal mission. So like I have to be intentional. Um, I feel a little shy talking about this because I don't think I ever really verbalize it in front of anyone. But yes, I think so. My parents' legacy is pretty much me. Like they're the one who raised me. They sacrificed their life to raise a girl like me who could thrive in a completely different country, right? Doing things that matter to her by putting their own needs and wants behind. And I really have to think about, okay, so how do I pass it down to my own child so that she can thrive in a completely different way, um, that is meaningful and fulfilling to her? So, yes, everything is very philosophical in whatever I do.
I'm just putting myself in the shoes of your parents, where it's like, yep, I'm moving to America. Now I'm in this place called Detroit. Now I'm in this place called Washington State. Now I'm on my way to Austin, and
Yeah.
now I'm in Virginia. I mean, it's just they have to be like, wow.
I skipped one place. I missed one place actually. I lived in Tennessee. I live in the Appalachian area actually,
Oh,
because yeah, the company I worked at in Michigan, they had a plant. They had a manufacturing plant in Tennessee, so they sent me there. But again, I'm so grateful that I had that experience of really living and traveling around the US because it really broadened my perspective. Like a lot of people just stay in one area and that's all they know. You know, they live in an echo chamber. But I got to just listen to different groups of people who would teach me different things. And now I can be empathetic to like a broader side of of people who would think differently. So I'm like, okay, this keeps me level-headed and this makes me more relatable to a lot of people. And I think that is pretty much my leadership philosophy, that I will always listen to people and see where they're coming from and be empathetic. And it helps me grow. Like I have this growth mindset. So yeah, interesting places that I've been to.
well, and I think that especially as you look to find your first customers, you know, listening. I always tell everyone your customer is going to tell you everything that you need to know about your product and where it needs to go. Um, so that I think that will be very fruitful for you. Do you have like any idea who your first ideal customers would be? Are you going to go back to Google and Meta and say, "Hey, look what we've done"?
Yeah. Yes, I know. And I think, I mean, I think first customers' feedback would be extremely valuable, right? Like it will set a baseline of where I should go. And at the same time, like I think I'll have to broaden my perspective too, like trying different clients. I'm planning to have 10 design partners in a different industry and different size just to see where it lands. And it teaches me different lessons that might show up in the future. Like everything is a learning at this stage for me. So I am just being humble. I'm just being humble and I am, I guess, putting myself as a student.
What does your husband think about all this?
Um, he's very supportive. Like he knows that I have a very strong opinion about a lot of things. and and he does too. And I mean, he's a very smart person, right? He's like one of the smartest person I've ever seen. So he has very strong opinion. We have very strong opinion. A lot of things are aligned, thankfully. A lot of our philosophy in life, meaning what matters to us, what's our family value. Those things really align. Business wise, where we fight is that I feel like, well, business is first, sales is first, and for him it would be like, well, we gotta build something, right? So like he is very like technical engineering mindset, and sometimes we don't speak the same language, and that's okay. We're gonna make it work out. So, in summary, he's very, very, very supportive, and I appreciate that.
And when he's introducing you to people, does he call you co-founder wife, or how does that work out?
That's a good question. I don't think he has ever introduced me to someone. I mean, I think it's because like people already know, at least in Richmond, people already know that like we're that pair. We're like, oh, this like startup couple. So Yeah, I'm gonna ask him how he refers me.
Be careful what you. Oh, that's funny.
I was just seeing if the reciprocation was there. It was
Yeah.
unclear.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
don't know.
Have you
I'll
always
ask him.
been a Have you always been a really curious person? You know, how do you remain curious? I think that's like I think that people start to die when they lose curiosity.
Hmm.
Ah, that's a great question. I think again, there is the nature piece and the nurture piece. My nature, I think, is just I'm very curious and like really like exquisite. Exquisite is the right word. Like, and I have to understand everything until I find my own answer. Like, I don't take someone's answer. I have to synthesize it and come up with my own philosophy. So I think that is my nature. And second thing, nurture part is that everyone who I met taught me something. So I know there's more to dig and they're going to teach me something. And I always appreciated that. So that's why I just go out, talk to people, and always just like, I guess, impressed by people's experience and their life. Everybody,
Yeah.
like literally everybody, like this country, like entire country has been so kind to me.
I wish more people would. I wish more like naturally born Americans would understand that. And it just and the thing it really always saddens me that it takes people that come here from another country and immigrate here to realize that the entrepreneurial dream is very alive and well if you
Yes.
are proactive in doing so.
I think 100%. I think what I tell my friends, my immigrant friends, is that there is no social limit. Like if you go to other countries, like, oh, you can't do this because you're a woman. Oh, you can't do this because you're a mom, or you can't do this, you have family, like you're a dad. America, you can do whatever you want. There is no rule. Nobody expects certain roles from you. If you have grit and if you have intelligence, if you have the effort, the universe is gonna give you what you want. And I am the proof of that. Like I've been living my American dream, right? I came here alone as an immigrant, somehow made it to Google. Like who knew? And I didn't have any connection. Nobody referred me to Google, but I just made it there because I really freaking wanted. And I start my own business and everybody has been again really kind to me in the startup world. So yes, that's
You
great. It's been great.
you hear a lot of female founders with the opposite of what you're saying, how they don't have opportunities, they can't get anywhere. It
Yeah.
sounds like you're saying, well, maybe they just don't have it, right? They don't have that thing that's missing. And am I
I don't
going the
even
wrong
think
way
I
on
don't even
that?
think
Like what?
that's I think that's across the board. I don't even think that's
Yeah.
with just women. I think that it's just
I know,
I
but like
yeah.
you hear a lot of that where there's like, okay, well, I don't have this. The opposite side does, and then that's the reason why. It
Hmm.
sounds like you're just like, no, I'm going for it, and I don't
Yeah,
take no for an answer. I mean, I think it's
yes, that's really what it is. So like this is what I think. First, there's like there's so much you feel like you can be a victim. You like it doesn't get you anywhere if you feel like you're the victim, right? So that's first. Second, if you don't have something, then go get it. Like it's not rocket science. If you want something, then do it.
I mean, it really is that simple. And so many people just wait and wait for something to fall into their lap. And it's just like, in my existence, not much has fallen into my lap unless it was coffee.
well,
Yeah.
it's like you're waiting, and it's like, yo, just pick up the phone, and see where that goes, right? Like I wrote like a blog post, something like I don't know, 15 years ago, where I said if you could take, I'd learned that like an MBA costs like 150 grand. And I was like, okay, but if you're going to start a business, do you really learn anything from that? And I said, well, what if you could take that 150 grand and find a bunch of people and have a bunch of conversations and experiences with them with that cash instead? And I think you would learn so much about like how to get that meeting, right? Like it's always interesting when someone's like, well, I can't get, like, this person isn't responding. It's like, well, why? Is it
Yeah.
going to spam? right? Is it because your message is being lost? Is it because you have the wrong email? Is it because you just haven't done enough? Like, are you writing the right message? Like, were you willing to go like and meet that person somewhere, like knock on their door? Like, there's
Yes.
so many interesting things from that perspective to me. It's just like you said, if you really want it, go get it. And are you willing
Yeah.
to do it once, or are you willing to like do whatever it takes to really make that happen? And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, not everyone's willing to do that. And those who are, I think, succeed. So
Yes. Like I tell my friends, like, again, this is like coming from someone who just barely lived like 30 something years. So like I don't really have a lot of wisdom in life, but what I tell what I tell my friends is like success takes like three things. It's yes, your personality, your effort, and luck. Luck including timing. You know, you happen
I
to
was
be in
going
the
to say
right place.
timing.
Yeah.
It would, yeah.
Yes, and like you happen to meet right people, right? Third part you can't control. You can't control luck. But do you have the right personality? If you don't have them, build it. Second, you have to build that effort. Like, so when you happen to be in the right place at the right time, you can get it. Like you have to put that level of effort. And if you don't have these three things aligned, then maybe you can't. Like maybe it's not for you. You know, you have to find something else. And yeah.
well, I don't think it's just about showing up too. A lot of people are like, oh, well, I was there. It's like, what were you doing when you were there? That matters, right? Don't just step inside and be
Walk this way. Oh, you and me.
I don't know.
I don't know. Sorry.
What song are you singing?
That was Def Leppard.
Oh, Lord, Tim. I am not that old.
You know the song.
Pour some sugar on me?
I did not mean to derail this conversation.
Yes, you did.
I know. I really. It was your fault, Zach.
It always is. I'm okay with that.
No,
okay, so
it's super admirable.
Yeah. Is Virginia like the long-term vision for you?
Oh yes. I didn't know anything about Virginia until I moved here, right? But the longer I live, oh my God, I like fell in love with the state. First of all, because of the history. Like I learned so much about American history here. And as someone who moved to America, like I started building this crazy, insane level of pride for what America has done. And that makes me feel like, oh, I need to build my own legacy too. It really like inspires me being in Virginia, seeing all this history. And I don't know why people don't really appreciate it as much as they should. So that, and like I said, my husband's family in Virginia, and they're just so amazing. I'm like one of the very lucky ones who have amazing in-laws. So I don't want to live here. My baby's happy and I'm happy. I get to take a break once a week.
Well, you consider yourself part of the Hampton Roads ecosystem as well. And any events that we have, you know that you are invited to attend. So it's just a short drive down 64. Yeah, you can make it here in no time at all. So
yes, I would actually
part of the family.
I would love to, because like we haven't spent a lot of time in Virginia, and I'm like, I don't really know where to find the community. I don't really know. Like I found Startup Virginia here, and they've been great resource. Like they've been helping me, and I'm like, I also want to connect with people in a different region who might think differently. I can't be in one echo chamber. I have to like expand my horizon of my perspective. So that means a lot to me. So I really appreciate it.
I think this coming year, maybe it is this year, 26, something like that, is the 250th birthday of Virginia. Is it something like that? And like there's some like
Virginia
some crazy,
250.
So there's some craziness apparently allegedly going on with it.
I love that.
So his family lives, your co-founder husband's family lives in Richmond?
He lives in about like 30-minute suburb of Richmond. So it's pretty close. It's not a long drive. And they're not originally from Virginia, but they're from Jersey. My husband is from Jersey, but they all found Virginia home.
We all got to get out of Jersey. I get it. Yeah. Garden
Yes.
State. There ain't no gardens that are lasting in that state. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So a lot of his family from Jersey is actually like trying to move down here. Everybody loves Virginia. And like, why, how come nobody talks about like the beauty of Virginia?
Well, and based on New Jersey and New York, save a little something on taxes as well. It cost of living is a whole lot less.
Yes. And I mean, people are great. Like, I don't know. I've been, maybe I'm just a lucky one. People have been so kind to me.
But it is funny. I was doing some work long ago with someone from New York City, and he's like, "You're way too nice." Yeah, it's just like you can't do business with us people up here. We'll cut you at the throat. You know, like I mean, we are pretty sharp elbowed, and you all are way too nice. But that's okay. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York, so I mean, I'm not originally from here either. But I just there needs to be more niceness in the world. I'm okay with being nice.
I got a similar feedback actually from like one of my MBA like career coach that I'm just like too nice and too sweet, and I'm like, oh, if you look too nice and too sweet as a woman, like you probably won't make it. And I'm like, no.
Right,
I think that's
right.
wrong. I'm gonna lean into my authentic self
That's
and
right.
yeah,
And don't
prove
let
that
that be,
you're wrong.
don't think that's a sign of weakness. You know, you
Yeah,
push me to a point and you'll see, yeah, the
e-
other side come out. I just don't like to unleash that other side.
exactly. I love being an underdog that like when someone tells me that I'm wrong or I'm in the bottom, it fuels me. Like I am going to prove you wrong with whatever I have, whatever God gifted me, and I know I'm gonna be on top and I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Well, and like that's like the part of the reason why we do this show. And we didn't really talk a whole lot about the business and the nuts and bolts, but it's just like when you bet on the founder and you bet on the jockey, you know, it's just it takes that quality there that's like you that's what people bet on to make a
Yeah,
successful company.
and people have been very generous with me, and I really appreciate everything. Yes. Can I have one shameless plug?
Yes.
Plug away.
So we are is selected as one of the showcase companies at Venture Atlanta. So I'm flying to Atlanta next month to showcase Ara there at the conference.
Don't be moving to Atlanta.
No, I mean, if they offer me something, I don't know. But I mean, Virginia offers way too much.
Whoa,
Like
whoa.
my family's here.
You just did this whole thing about Virginia and blah 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 blah. And then you're like, wow. Atlanta got sports, and they have this this rock. That's kind of cool. I can't think of what it's called. I've been there though. Anyway, is there anything you want to talk about that we haven't talked about?
No. I mean, I appreciate this opportunity. It's been fun, and it's my first podcast, and I think it went extremely great.
I really enjoyed the conversation. I think that you have a really positive energy. You have a positive attitude and outlook on how to be successful. It's been a delight.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. If I visit the 757 area, would you two have a coffee with me?
Why not?
There you go.
Yeah, no, you are a
Like
part of
sitting there like,
the family.
oh,
Of
Lord.
course,
I'm
of
like,
course.
Thank
Tim was saying that because he does not like to go get coffee. He likes to bring his own coffee.
Well,
I don't like to.
Noted.
it's not
Noted.
necessarily. It just always works out that way because it's muscle memory. We make the same amount of coffee every night the night before, but that's not to say that there's good, especially if you know nothing against
that
the
coffee
Pacific Northwest, but I don't really like Starbucks coffee very much. I think that there's much better places out there.
How do you make your coffee the night before?
Well, because we use an old school drip coffee, and we set the timer to go off at 6 a.m. every morning.
We have one too. Yeah. But yeah, it's been really like it's been my pleasure to like talk to you both. And I mean, I am so grateful that I got to know you. You guys saw something in me and you invited me to start a World Cup. Even if I still feel like I wasn't at the right stage and I was too early for this big show, I really appreciate that you guys like vetted on me. And
Well, and I think that Zach and I, we, among and everyone else that was able to see the application, it's just I think that we're pretty good at betting and identifying people that have like that it factor. So credit to you and thank you for applying for that. And I know that you will make Virginia proud.
yes. Yes.
Or Atlanta, apparently.
Show Atlanta, what's up and
yes,
how Virginia does.
that's exactly my goal. Like I'm gonna build a Silicon Valley style B2B SaaS from Virginia.
Love it.
Of all the travels, you ready? Of all the travels, what is the that you've had? I'm sure you've experienced great food along life's journey. What's the best food that you have experienced in Virginia, and what is that we need to market to the rest of the world?
I don't think people know a lot about Virginian seafood and like oyster, for example. And I think you guys somehow make marketing for great Virginian seafood and the Southern style cooking that I really had no idea about. So yeah, I think that's what it is.
We had we had Bae McLaughlin on the show a long time ago, and they do they harvest oysters, and like it's really like he got into some of the technical aspects of it in terms of like the water and the temperature and how the tides move in and out, and that moves the oysters and rotates them in a way, to like, and like the Queen of England back in the day would only get oysters from here.
Wow.
Because of that. Yeah.
I had no idea. Learning something new every day.
But yeah, pretty fascinating stuff.
And the best thing is Tim and I have a seafood allergy or don't like seafood, so we don't eat it.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys are missing out big joy in life.
Yeah.
I came from East Asia, so like seafood is a big part of our culture. So I always try to find different kind of seafood and indulge that experience.
Well, we appreciate that you appreciate the seafood that you can eat here.
I can be proud. Yeah. I can be a proud Virginian. Yes.
I appreciate you. Please promise us to keep us updated on all of your progress. I know that you're going to be very successful in your journey. So please keep us posted on everything. And we were talking a little bit about before that we went live on air that like, yeah, the World Cup was great, but it's the relationships that you make before, during, and after. That is really that's what it's all about. And in 2024, companies went on to raise over $20 million.
Wow.
Yeah, and they weren't necessarily the winner, but leverage that. Keep us posted on your success. I know that you're going to find it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Hope you guys, both of you guys,
and
your co-founder husband, have a wonderful rest of your day.